Hey everyone, Carla here from Documenting the Journey. I am here to do a planner walkthrough. I have purchased the Wonderland 222s every year for the past 3 years. I think my first purchase was in 2020 and I purchased one of every single size. In the end, they never really ended up working for me because of the stacked weekends. This one, however, this is the first year that the team over at Wonderland has done an unstacked weekend, and I'm stoked. So currently on the unstacked options, it is only for the A5. I did get the all-in-one, which is your monthly, weeklies, and full dailies all in one book. I did get the cover for it too. There's a lot of people out right now with a ton of really excellent videos. I'll try and link some down below. So I'm not going to go like into a bunch of details as far as measurements and sizing. I'm just going to kind of share my opinions. The cover is the first thing that I kind of noticed that is, I feel like, different this year. It has a little bit more of a, sticky is not the right word, but it's definitely not smooth either. It does have a little bit more of a textured cover, and it's a little bit more of a matte black than it is a shiny black. There is some gold foiling here on the bottom as well for their logo. I really kind of wish that like 2024 was on the spine, just because I think when it was on the shelf it would look really good. They do have cornered edges, which I absolutely love because I love cornered edges, the sharp edges. I feel like they end up becoming cornered anyway because it's just the way I handle all of my planners. I did also buy the accommodating vinyl cover. So when you shop their website, you have to be really careful when you purchase your vinyl cover because they now have 2 vinyl cover sizes. They have one for the all-in-one, which is this one because it's a thicker book. And then they also have the vinyl covers that accommodate the traditional books still as well. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. The covers are a really, really thick kind of cardstock cover, and it's the same material as your front page. And then, of course, your first page is kind of glued to that front page here. But these are both really, really thick cardstock type materials. I have to put a plastic cover on all of my planners just because I am really rough with my planners. So let me just go ahead and get this on. It is a little bit of a tight fit. Okay, but it actually fits like the first time around instead of those covers that you get that actually don't fit and you have to stretch them or you have to heat them. I personally don't have the patience for that. Like when I buy a vinyl cover, I just want it to fit the planner that I buy it for, especially if it's specifically made for that planner. So this already, huge, huge win. Okay, so when I made my purchase, I also got 2 super duper cute little stickers, the W222, in addition to their cute little bear. All right, so let's go ahead and do a very quick walkthrough here. So this is a 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. It is labeled as a white paper. This is a sample of the sterling ink paper that I'm using right now, so they are the exact same color. You have your front page, which is kind of glued here to your front cover. And then you have a blank spread for a key and a grid. They are divided into 2 columns with a solid darker line with a grid on here. I want to say it's like a 4mm. I can't remember if it's a 4mm exact or if it's like the 3.7. It is a 4mm exact. And so it is a little bit bigger than your Hobonichi. And it's a little bit bigger actually than the sterling ink because the sterling ink I think was like a 3.7 or a 3.8. So this already is a huge win for me too because I need a bigger grid. Ideally I would love to have a 5mm grid, but this is a 4mm grid. So you have kind of like a really dark gray or almost like a chocolate type of text here. So it's a really light grid, but it's actually dark enough to where it's easy to see. So you have a key and an index, and then you flip your page and you have additional pages for index. And then again, this is an A5 size. So one thing I did notice here when I just flipped my page is your margin on the inside is quite a bit different than it is on the outside. And so I don't know, some people, asymmetry, is that the right word? Where it's not symmetrical, kind of bothers them. So this is about one centimeter width, whereas this is like 5 millimeters in width here. And then down here, your grid is less than a centimeter, but up here it is 1.5 centimeters. And so this grid is not perfectly spaced on the page. And so for me, I don't think honestly it's going to bother me, but for some people I know that that would kind of bother them. They did have to move everything down just because of your title up here, but these are indexes. And then here you have a 4-year spread. You have 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026. And these are shaded in different colors of gray. So this one is your current year, so it is more of a white, whereas these are kind of shaded in a different color, just so it kind of catches your eye a little bit more of what year you're in. So this spread has a lot of possibilities. You could simply ignore it, or you can go through and circle pay periods or traveling or kid, school dates, events, endless possibilities here. And then here you also have a, I know some people call this a perpetual calendar. I don't know what Wonderland 222 actually calls it, but it's basically your entire year at a glance with your dates. Your weekends are highlighted in a lighter gray to kind of catch your eye also. It does not, however, have Monday, Tuesday, like the actual days of the week. And so, for instance, this one here, you would have to know that the 3rd is Saturday, the 4th is Sunday, so the 2nd would be Friday, and you would have to kind of go backwards, so it does not have the actual days of the week on it, in addition to the numbers. It just has the numbers. So down at the bottom, you also have a blank grid space that you can use any way you choose. You can use it for goals, you can use it for travel planning, whatever it might be. Again, up here, it can be completely endless possibilities. You can use it for a habit tracker, a weight tracker, a birthdays, anniversaries, like routine things that happen on the same day every single year, or again, you can just completely ignore it. So here is one of my features that I keep. Like, this is actually what originally brought me to Wonderland 222 first. It was actually after I started in the Moxie Life system, and the Moxie Life system is a monthly and quarterly and annually based goal system. And this spread right here is the original reason I wanted to try this planner. But again, it never worked out for me until this layout, so we got high hopes. But this is a quarterly spread. You have monthly calendars here, and so this is basically Q1. You can use this calendar however you see fit. Again, your weekends are kind of in that light brown, different gray color. And then you have a notes section over here. So my original plan when I first bought this was to do all of my goal layouts here with the Moxie Life system goals. And so you have this same spread for each quarter of the year. And then this year, I actually started doing quarterly goals instead of setting annual goals. I would only set goals for the 3 months. And so this was going to be really nice to just kind of be able to have just this one page to refer to instead of an entire annual page. So I really love this page. Okay, and then on this page, you do have your grid down here, but you have a solid gray line that you can use for a header on each one of these. And then again, these are your monthly calendars. So then you go straight into a blank grid notes page, and then a routine or habit tracker on this side. So this I also really loved because, again, coming from the Moxie Life system, they had a built-in habit tracker on their weekly page layouts, but I really liked this one because this one just had a lot more flexibility to kind of track down really anything. So this would also be really nice for us if we were doing a lot of financial goals, because we could track how often we ate out versus when we ate at home and cooked at home. How often did we spend money when it wasn't a routine required thing? This does, however, just so you guys notice, has the days of the week up here in addition to the day numbers. You have your vertical grid lines here with your weekends vertically lined here. You have 4 check boxes on this side, and then you have a long line for your description here. This does start in December for your routine tracker. And then on this side, you also have just kind of like a blank vertical column, or if you keep it this way, it would be a horizontal column. I did also forget to mention that the page numbers, there are page numbers starting at the, hang on, overview. So starting at your annual 4-year overview, your page numbered here. It starts at 6, but it backtracks. If you wanted to consider these pages, you can do that. And I love the page idea, the page numbers, because I like being able to page number my indexes. Okay, let's get back. Okay. So you have this exact same spread on every single month, and so you have your notes and then your routine tracker, and then January, February, and then you go through the entire annual year here, again page numbered, and then it ends in December of 2024, and then when you flip that page, this is kind of your pre-month dashboard, I guess you could say. So you have a blank notes page here, and then you have this page here. So I know the lighting is not the greatest, but I'm going to go ahead and use this kind of ruler to kind of show you guys where the natural drawn lines are in addition to your millimeter grid. So you have a long line here, and then you have short lines that divide this up into 4 boxes here. The first 2 grid lines horizontally are shaded in all 4 of these boxes, and then you have 2 grid lines that are shaded in this box as well. You have another line that only goes halfway to the page here, and then you have a horizontal line that goes all the way here. So this is one big empty square with no hard lines in it, whereas this is 2 vertical columns and then your 4 boxes. So Selly, one of my really great friends, uses this planner, and I've got like major FOMO from her because she utilizes this planner in the exact way that I would want to, where she is super functional. She uses this as an overview, but she also uses it as a memory keeper, happy moments, great things that happened. Like, she comes back to this page often throughout the month to track a lot of her things, and I absolutely love that idea. I'll put her information down below because her YouTube channel is just so good with this planner. She's actually the reason I bought this. It was in my mind, it was in my cart. I decided not to buy it, but I did. Thank you, Selly. And then you go into your monthly layout. So you do have all of your boxes throughout the entire month. You have 5 weeks here. These are dated, even though they're not this current month, but they're not shaded here. They're very light, but here you can kind of see the current month has these 2 boxes shaded. And so the current month has these boxes shaded here, and then you have your grid space here. The entire weekend is shaded. You have the month before and the month after. Personally, I don't really love this. A lot of planners have these, and they're just not functional to me, so I just really ignore them. Another thing that I'm noticing on this monthly spread is it does have your moon phases, and it also has holidays here printed. And then you go into your weeks. Okay, so I'm so very excited about this. So this is what the A5 Unstacked looks like. The A5 is the only one right now that has the unstacked weekends. I would love it even more if it was in a B6, but I'm totally taking an A5 because I love the unstacked. Now with the unstacked, you're gonna have to remember this column is gonna be more narrow than your unstacked. So another big difference is you actually have a weekly side panel. So again, I'm going to come back to Selly. Selly did an excellent side-by-side comparison because she's using the original A5 that is stacked. And then she also received this planner from the company because that is amazing, like awesome. And she did a side-by-side, so I'm going to actually link her video as well so you guys can look and see what this year's stacked looks like. Because the stacked for this year does not have this side column. It just has this huge column down at the bottom. And I tried really hard with the stacked weekends and having this, but without, for me personally, without having this sidebar, it was really difficult because I always felt like I had to turn my planner this way to do my this week's task vertically instead of me just doing them, you know, assigned to each day, and then the weekend was stacked, and so the space down there, I don't know, it was, for me personally, it was odd. So I'm stoked that this layout exists. I'm really excited. So another thing that I love about this planner and this layout is the way that they kind of, I don't love that this is shaded. So I'll actually go back to the things that I don't love. I don't love the mini calendar. Again, not functional for me. I don't love that these are shaded. I just feel like aesthetically for me, I would like it better if they were the same, like unshaded as these. But I do love the upgrade of having an unstacked weekend in addition to this sidebar. And they even kept this space down here. And so now I'm thinking what I would like to do is have this for my weekly tasks and a habit tracker here. And then I could do day specific tasks and gratitude underneath each day. And I can now do that on the weekend because it's unstacked. I couldn't do it in the stacked weekend because it just felt for me wonky to do. It was not enough space for 2 days to do daily specific tasks and gratitude. And then I love they have this space up here that is not timed. Your times also go from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. is your last spot, but you have a 9 p.m. and then a 9:30, so it basically ends at 10. I personally am usually in bed by 10 because I'm awesome like that. So the hourly timeline for me personally is long enough to where it would be functional. I love the space above and the space below that does not have time specific stuff on it. I could do priorities up here. I could do, you know, schedules up here. I could do, we have to figure out childcare. I can jot those up there. I could do weather. I could do meals. There's so many ideas for these untimed spaces here. Now your weekly goes back to back. You'll notice here you have 2 shades for your tab spaces. So you can also put tabs in here too. So you have these shades here. So this has your weeks, and then this like 5 of week 50 of 52, excuse me, and then 12 December. So that has your month. And then you've got all of your December here. And then as soon as it changes to the new month, so this is December 31st, you go back into your view here. So here's a difference. So this is a December review, and this is a January overview. Let me show you the beginning of it. So the beginning of the calendars just had notes and a December overview. It does not have your previous year review in here. It just starts with notes, which is good because, well, for me it's good because I think it would be fun to have like a bucket list here that you can refer to, or a mind map, or a vision board, or big goals that you want to come to. So when you have your month being done, you can reflect on your December, and then you can set new ideas for January. And then you go into your monthly spread, and then you go back into your weeks. And so I want to also find a month that changes kind of mid. Okay, here. So here is February. So I know some planner companies always really struggle, especially when they spread the months throughout, of where to put the monthly. So this one you have February 25th, okay? And then you go into February review and March overview, your March calendar, but you still have February here. Here's your March. Most companies that I've used these types of planners for, I actually prefer all my months in the front because of this, which is not, this is not going to be a deal breaker. But my brain always tells me that the March should be after this page because this is where March started. But they put it before. Again, not a deal breaker, especially because you have your shaded areas here. It's really not going to bother me that much at all. But the months are spread throughout the planner. Again, you have your weeks your week 9 of 52, and then your third month, which is March, on these shaded areas here. And it just kind of goes throughout the entire, it repeats the layout throughout the entire planner. At the end of December, you have December 29th, and then you have New Year's Day is here. So you have the rest of that week, and then you go into a December review, and you have, so you actually have 375 undated dailies. Technically not blank pages, okay? So you have a line here and a line here, and it stops. It's basically an upside down T. You have a timeline. It's 1 to 24, and you have a space up here, a line with a slash, line with a slash, so you can put month, day, year, or day, month, year, however you date it. Technically, they're not blank, but you have 375 note pages, which is 10 more than the entire year. So you get basically 365 daily pages with 10 note pages that you can use however you see fit, which, I mean, that is just amazing. And then you have your end of the planner here. Your final cover does have a pen loop also, which, let's go ahead and try and put this pen in there. Okay. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so now my planner confusion has officially started because I really love this planner. Oh, I also wanted to show you guys. So my idea was going to be to find a folio, either a leather cover or a folio that I could carry both of these books with me, because this is my goal setting companion notebook from Moxie Life, and then I could just use this as my actual planner. So over time, of course, this will get super freaking heavy, but I also wanted to just kind of see, I want to play with this real quick. So this is the brand new folios from Moxie Life that are new for 2024. But I want to see if these would fit in it, and I could carry maybe these kind of things together. I don't think that would work. Okay. So not many people really love putting Tomoe River papers, planners on strings. So I'm just going to kind of play and just kind of see how it holds. Okay, let me just take a lot of this stuff out. I keep so much extra stuff in here. Oh my gosh, you guys. How nice is this? And look at how much extra room is over here. So if I had to, check this out. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just like totally excited. This is your annual goals book from the Moxie Life system, and it's a really, really thin book. And then you have, so this is your annual goals and instructions, and then this is 1/4. And the entire Wonderland fits in here. What? Oh my gosh, you guys. How freaking nice is that? And then this would be super easy to carry. It would be heavy and it would be bulky, but I don't know how this would lay open though. Oh, not bad. This is really not bad. So overall, it actually lays really flat. So it might get a little awkward when you're writing here. This, a lot less flat. But I think that's just because this is such a thick book, you know, there. But check that out in this, you guys. Okay, so I got distracted. Okay, so that is your A5 Unstacked Wonderland 222. Just a quick walkthrough, not quick. This is like a really long video. We're at a half an hour now. So I'm gonna make sure to kind of put Sally's information down below. Like I said, she does a great comparison, so make sure you check her out. Follow her because she's amazing. And she's like a really awesome, super great anesthesiologist, and she just has great study content. She has really great ASMR, just kind of quiet videos where you can just kind of have on in the background while you're planning or studying. She's got a really, really cool channel. I like it a lot. But I am going to leave you guys now. And if you have any questions, let me know. And if you are going to be using this planner, tell me what you're most excited about for the Unstacked from Wonderland. Thank you guys. Have a good one.